This video is for the JJC. You see, when I was growing up in Nigeria, I met people who told me, hey, you need to date many women, you need to sleep around so that you understand women. You need to understand the way women think, and you cannot understand them except you date around. You need to have a street mentality. You know, the word they normally use for me, they say you need to have street mentality. Stop being a church boy. That's why you're a single guy. That's why you are isolated. So they were calling me JJC. They say you are JJC. Even in secondary school, in the university, they were telling me, hey, you are JJC. You know, how can you find a wife like that? You need to start dating around. You need to sleep around. You know, you need to have some experience of sex so that you don't marry a girl who cannot satisfy you. And I see a lot of single people who keep asking that question. If I don't sleep with him, how will I know that he's good in bed? How will I know that his private part is big enough? So these are things that I hear. You know, as a single man, people were telling me, hey, bro, Emma, you are too quiet. Girls will take you for granted. You are too quiet. You know, they will take you for a fool. You are too soft. You need to be hard. You need to have street mentality. You know, date many girls, sleep around so you have experience. You don't have experience. You are JJC. Okay. And I saw some people who would tell me, how come you never tested alcohol? Did the Bible say you should not taste alcohol? Where is it in the Bible? You need to experience alcohol, bro. You need to test a little bit. Even Timothy took a little bit for his stomach. Paul told him, you need to take a little for your stomach to heal. People were telling me that as a single man and as a young man growing up. Some people say, so you are telling me you don't smoke? At least take a sip. Know how it tastes so that when you meet an unbeliever who is smoking, you know what to tell them. I had all that as a young man. When I started dating, some people will say, are you telling me you don't kiss her? Even some pastors and some Christians will say that. You need to kiss her, at least know how she responds sexually, to know if you're attracted to her. Are you going to marry a woman who cannot satisfy you? I had all that. Okay. And one other thing that someone told me, unfortunately, some of the people saying these are church people. Some people will say, if you don't beat a woman, you will not reset her brain. You know, that there are things a woman would do. You need to give her a slap, a hot slap, so that her brain will reset. I had all that. Now, let me tell you, especially if you're a young person, if you're a mature person or maybe a mother or a father listening to this video, send this video to your children. You don't need to have that experience they are telling you. You see, I keep saying it. We don't learn by experience. We learn by wisdom. The Bible never said you learn by experience. You learn by wisdom, the Holy Spirit. And let me tell you, there is no way that God will give you a bad gift. For those of you ladies who are saying, if I don't sleep with him, how will I know that his private part is big enough to satisfy me? How will I know that he's good in bed? Okay, now that you have slept with him, did he marry you? I'm asking you a question. You finally slept with him. Did he marry you? The truth is that any man who sleeps with you before marriage will either break up with you eventually or he will not trust you because he knows you are loose. You are loose. You released it before time. You gave him the milk before time. Why do you expect him to buy the cow? He already got the milk. He already got what he's looking for. That is, by the way, what I want to tell you is this. God will not give you a bad gift. That experience you want to have, don't have it. Don't have it before you enter into marriage. You don't need to date around before you find the right person. I tried dating ladies as a single man, to be honest with you. But God was interrupting me. God was telling me, I know who I have for you. You don't need all this. When it's time, I will give you the wife I have for you. And some pastors, were saying that time, you are the one that will find. Go and find. The Bible says, he who finds a wife, go and find, look for her, go to other churches. But God was telling me, you don't need to go finding anybody. Focus on serving me, and I will give you a wife. And when it was time, God picked a wife for me. God can pick a spouse for you. Let me repeat, God can pick a spouse for you. Let me say it for the third time. Yes, God can pick a spouse for you if you trust him. All right? But let me say what I need to say. For those of you that they call JJC, they say you are JJC. You are naive. You don't know anything. You don't have street mentality. People will deceive you in marriage. Your spouse will play games on you. You don't even know anything. Listen, you don't need to know those things they are saying you should know. If you have never tested alcohol, don't go and test it. I've never experienced alcohol in my life. I've never experienced smoking. And I'm not trying to go and experience. I don't need that experience. It's not going to help me. All right? Even as someone who has been in medical, recently I changed my career from medical though. But when I was in medical and I worked in a cancer treatment clinic, I can tell you that one of the causes of cancer is smoking and alcohol. But let's not talk about that. You see, sometimes it is for your own good when you don't know certain things. Sometimes ignorance of the knowledge of evil is good for you. Right? So anybody that's calling you JJC because you don't know evil, because you're not beating your wife, because you're not cheating on your wife as a man, that person is a fool. Anybody that calls you JJC because you are not doing evil, that person is a fool, a big fool. Because you are not cheating on your husband, because you are not doing evil, sinning against God. Somebody is calling you a JJC. That person is a big fool. And you should see that person as a fool and a destiny destroyer. Stay on your lane. You don't need to experience those things. You don't need all those. I remember when I was, the first time I came to the United States, somebody told me something. A lady told me this. She said, you have to understand that sex is a password in America. I said, really? The only woman I know is my wife. I'm sorry. So if somebody is saying that sex is a password, how? If it's your desire that the enemy will use against you. If you desire to drink, the devil will use it against you. If you desire sex, the devil knows how to position the right people for you to destroy you. Yeah, he would position the right person that will tempt you at work, and the person will destroy your marriage. Be careful. Be very careful. You don't need to know those things. You've never experienced smoking. You've never experienced sex. Wait until you're married to sleep with your spouse. You don't need smoking. You don't need all that. All right? Please. And if you're a man listening to me and another man is telling you sometimes you need to beat her to reset her brain, that's not the kind of friend you need in your life. Be careful. Avoid certain things you should not know. There are things I don't know at this age. I'm above 40. There are things I don't know. And I'm not trying to know it. I'm telling you. There are things I don't know. And I'm not trying to know it. Because I don't need it. If you don't need it, why are you trying to know it? If I don't need a certain information to go to where God is taking me, I'm not going to give attention to it. I'm not going to give attention to it. It might be a good information, but is it taking me where I'm going? If it's not taking me where I'm going, I'm not paying attention to it. I don't need it. So focus on what you need. Focus on what you need to build your life, to develop your life, to have a good marriage, to build your career, to be healthy. Focus on what you need and stay away from what you don't need. Separate yourself from the people you don't need. You don't need everyone. People will say, oh, you need friends. Without friends, how are you going to connect and this, and that? My dear, I'm not saying you shouldn't have friends, but be careful. Let God lead you. All right? I'm saying all this to the JJC. It is better you call me JJC, but let me stay focused. Yes, let me stay focused and do the right thing. God bless you.